Hello, everyone. Just going to wait a couple minutes to see if anyone comes on, and then we'll get started. Let me know when you're on. Say hello. I see there's 4 people on now. Say hello if you're there. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Everything's good. Guess I need to turn that off. Okay. I don't see any comments yet, but I'm going to get started. Tonight I'm going to show you the Spellbinders Glimmer Hot Foil Machine. So this is what it looks like. And it comes with some things in your box that we'll go through. I apologize about the glares on my glass mat tonight. I did want to use my glass mat because I am working with heat. This does get quite warm, so I just want to make sure that I don't damage my desktop or anything else. So that's why I'm using the glass mat, and it does have some glares. I got to work on my lighting for the glass mat. Okay, so that's that. Hi, Erin. All right, so when you get your Glimmer Hot Foil machine, I do not have my box anymore. I've had this a while, so I have no idea where my box is, but you get it all boxed up nice and pretty. It comes with the machine itself. It comes with the base. This base slides in and out. Sorry, I gotta do it the right way or it won't come out. Okay, and it does have like a plug end in the end of it, and then there is a plug-in in your base, which is right here. Okay, so that's what's going to connect and help you heat it up. You will get a cord. It does come out at this end as well, so that you can take it off. And in the bottom, hi Julie, in the bottom, it does have a spot where you can wrap your cord around for storage so that you're not always looking for your cord. Okay, so you literally take your platform, put your base in, plug in your base, make sure it snaps in there. It also comes with a magnet tool. Actually, I'll show you. Mine came with this die when I bought it. I'm sure they're different now. Not sure what comes in them now, but these are the dies that I got in mine. So if I put these on here, this little tool has a magnet in the end, and it'll help. Hi, Judy. It'll help you pick up your hot foil plates off of the base because they do get very warm. Okay, and then to release it, you just push this button and it will let go. Okay, so then that rolls into this rubber mat. You will receive this rubber mat. It's just a silicone mat, some raised spots on it, and they give you this so that when you take your hot foil plates off of your machine with your magnet, you can plop them on here, and that allows them to cool so that you're not damaging anything. I'm just going to plug this back in. All right, and again, Some of these heavier ones, you got to kind of maneuver it, but it will work. And then just release, and it'll let go. You will also receive what they call the Glimmer Thin Shim. Mine's well loved. It does have some foil on it that I've accidentally foiled up the wrong way. Oopsie doopsie. But that happens. Hi, Carolyn. And then you will get a spacer pad, they call it. And it's just a clear plate, like we run through our die cut machine. It also comes with various different kinds of foil. I got gold and silver with my machine. So I see in some of the pictures now you get like a rainbow and something else. So that'll vary from mine, but you do get everything you need to do something as soon as you get your machine. You'll get a hot foil plate, you'll get some foil, you'll get your machine and all your accessories so that you're ready to go. Okay, so when you get your machine, there is a little power button back here on the back that you just flick on. And when you do that, you're going to see a red light. Oh, it doesn't look very red on my screen, but it is red. There is a red light that will come on here to show you that you have power to your machine. So I'm just going to move some of this out of the way. I have my stuff off to the side. If you have a glass mat, you can also just put your plates onto the glass mat. The glass mat actually helps them cool. I have some granite pieces of stone that I put mine on off to the side here, and that helps them cool a little bit quicker. So you need to wait for your machine to heat up. Once it is ready to go, this middle green button says platform ready. It will shine green. That means that we're ready to go. Okay, so we're just going to wait for that to heat up. I did a little bit of preheating so that it wasn't needing to wait the whole time to heat up. It doesn't take very long, a couple minutes maybe. It heats up pretty fast. Okay. I've got some pieces of foil trimmed up a little bit here just to help save some time. I've got some smooth cardstock. This cardstock is actually, I believe this is our Harmony Hughes, the 120 pound. So I'm going to give a try for that. I'm also going to try some other different kinds of cardstock so that we can experiment and see what works and what doesn't work. Okay? So I just have to find it here. I do have a pack of Spellbinders cardstock. It's the only pack that I own at the moment. It was the Make It Merry Spellbinders cardstock. I got it at the store. It came out, you know, more around Christmas time. So it is more Christmas colors, but we're going to experiment with their cardstock because Spellbinders cardstock obviously is going to be the best to use with the Spellbinder machines. They do actually sell a specialty Glimmer cardstock, which I believe is more of a plasticky cardstock. I've never personally tried it myself. I always just use cardstock and I seem to get just fine results. So we're going to try some of the Spellbinders. Then we're going to give a go with, I'm going to get out some Neenah. Okay, so this is some Neenah 80 pound cardstock. Very smooth. We're going to work with that as well. And we're just going to try out some different ones. I'm going to try to find just like a, I'm going to see if I have some cardstock that actually has some tooth to it so that we can see how that works out. Not sure where my cardstock has gotten to here. Okay, we're just going to grab a piece of random, I don't even know what kind of cardstock this is. It's just from my stash, but it does have a little bit of a, like a linen pattern on it. I'll show you up close. It is smooth otherwise. All right, so I don't think you're going to see it, but it does have a bit of a linen texture to it. Okay, so as you can see, my platform is now ready. It is very hot, okay? If you left your hand on there, I'm pretty sure it would burn you. So just be careful about the heat. And then this button down here is the button you push for your timer to go. So when we're all ready to go, I'm going to use the hot foil plate that came with my machine. First off, to show you. I'm going to use the Harmony Hues cardstock that we have in the store. So the difference between the Better Press and this Glimmer is this Glimmer does not have a kind of proper grid. Like where they have the numbers for the inches are on this side, and they don't match up with the grid lines that are on here. So if you want it lined up perfectly, I just try to center it, and then I try to center my paper as well. A lot of the times I'll just use a half sheet of cardstock, and then that way I'm guaranteed to get all of it, and then I can trim it down later. Okay, so you're going to put your plates with the impression side facing up, the flat side to the bottom. Okay, once you've got them placed where you want them, you're going to go ahead and you're going to press your timer button. It will continue to flash until it is proper temperature, and then it will stop blinking and it'll be solid. Now I'm going to use this with the Spellbinders Platinum 6. This machine, this platform will work in your Big Shot. I have both and I use it in both. There's no problems there. If you have any other die cutting machine, I would go to the Spellbinders website and just double check that your machine is actually compatible with this base. This is a thicker platform like the Spellbinders Platinum 6 and the Big Shot, like the thicker white platforms that we get in those machines. So you will need a machine that has a wider opening. Sorry, I needed a little drink. Okay, so we're still flashing here. I actually do not need this much foil, so I'm actually going to trim it down. Oh, maybe I do. Okay. So I'm still going to trim it down a little bit. I love my Spellbinders scissors for this. They seem to go through very nicely. And do not throw out your little piece like this. You can use that for small sentiments, small pieces, anything like that. So save it, don't throw it out. We don't want to waste it. My button is now solid. I am going to pull this away from my machine. I am going to set my paper on top. I'm going to set my thin shim, and I'm going to set my plate on spacer pad, sorry it's called. I'm going to take this over to my Spellbinders Platinum, and I'm going to run it through. Now I'm not going to crank this through super fast. I'm just going to go kind of at a nice, steady, slow pace. It allows the foil to adhere. I'm going to take these off, and I'm going to take this up. Now the one thing I forgot to say, because I just do it now out of habit, you can see the impression there. The way we say it, the way I've heard a lot of people say it, and it's helped me to remember, because obviously I have made a couple mistakes and I have foiled my my plate instead of my actual paper, is you want the pretty side of your foil to the pretty side of the plate. So pretty side of foil to the plate. Okay? I usually will I'll plug this back in so it's ready to go again. I'm going to use the same one for now and go through some different papers and see how it works. And then we'll try some other plates and things. So this is strictly a hot foil machine plate. They tend to be kind of this rose gold, coppery kind of color. These are only to be used in your hot foil machine. They are not supposed to be used in your butter press. They say if you use these in your butter press, you will void your warranty. Not saying that it won't work, just saying that it will void your warranty. Okay, so this has had time to cool a little bit, and now I'm going to peel and reveal. As you can see, gorgeous shine, and honestly, I have very minimal overfoiling, and I'm going to show you where it is, if we can even see it in the camera. Here, I'm going to turn the light off. Can you see right there, that little tiny smudge? That is a little tad bit of overfoiling, and it happened again just right there, that little dot. Okay? Otherwise, it looks perfect. Very intricate, all solidly filled in, all great. Okay? Turn my light back on. Wrong remote. Too many remotes in technology. All right. So that worked very well. Now, these pieces, don't throw them away. I'm going to show you a trick with that in a few minutes. Okay. All right. So if you have that little bit of overfoiling, what I like to do is I like to take my sand eraser. Most of us have a sand eraser. And I just take it over those little spots. I barely have to erase it. And now you can't even see that they were there. They're gone. Okay? You can always rub your hands over it like this in case there's any little pieces that are on there of the loose foil. That one came out great. Okay, so let's do... Actually, I'm going to do Neenah 110 pound because a lot of us have the 110 pound rather than the 80 pound. It shouldn't make a difference because Neenah is a smooth cardstock. I'm just going to cut this up quick. All right. All right, so this will be the Neenah. So this has been on here. It's nice and hot. I'm going to push my timer. I probably don't even need to push my timer because I've left it on there. Just going to cut that off again. I was doing some sentiments and I used some longer. So, not this way. You do not want to see the color of your foil. You want that to be down. On top of your plate, you're going to see the silver side. Okay? I'm going to pull this out because it's hot. Okay? I'm just going to place a half sheet, the 5.5 by 8.5 sheet of paper over top. Okay. My green plate or my thin shim, my spacer plate, run it through my machine. went a little faster that time. Oh, took my foil right off. That has a very little bit of overfoiling on that same side. Very tiny, tiny little bit. Just right there. It's like a speck. Can't even see it. Okay, but otherwise, worked perfectly. All good to go. Okay. Now let's try this one that has the bit of texture to it. Actually, I think I want one that has more texture than that. Okay. All right, these ones do. Okay, this one has some linen texture to it. More so than that black did. You're probably not going to see it in the camera, but you'll have to trust me. Okay, so we'll plug that back in. As soon as that green light's on, I am going to put it through again without pressing my timer because I've had it plugged in. I do need another piece of foil. Let's do silver on this one. I have no fingernails. There we go. So figure out what I need here. Give it a snip. Okay, so not the shiny side up, we want the shiny side down. Okay, while that's warming up, I am going to go through a little bit. So this is the glimmer foil, what it looks like from Spellbinders. Other companies do make it. You just have to make sure that it says that it's for a hot foil system. There are other foils on the market, such as Decofoil. Decofoil says on it here that it's a transfer sheet. So Decofoil goes with the Deco transfer sheets. It needs a, I'm drawing a blank on the name I'm trying to find, but it works with like laser printed things. So it needs the black, or there are some on the market, like Gina K makes one that is, she calls it a polyglaze, and it's more of a clear, and it goes on white sheets and different color sheets and stuff. And it's not always black, but you do need the transfer. I might have some here. Toner, that's the word I was looking for. So you do need like a toner. So it has to have a toner to be able to stick through it, and this is one that you would put through a laminator. So the ones that go through the laminator and need a toner will not work with the Glimmer hot foil system. You do need a hot foil machine foil. I hope that makes sense and I didn't confuse everybody, but it does say hot foil. Okay, that is ready. I'm going to put my paper on. Pop this out. My plates and run through my machine. Okay, we'll let that cool for a second. And we'll peel. Okay, so this was a good example. Okay, so I am going to turn my light off again because it seemed to be easier to see. How close can I get? Can you see how those dots in the center of the circle look waffled? Can you see that? They look waffled with the texture of the cardstock. And there you can see it in the letters. And you see the B didn't quite work all the way? The thinner lines aren't as good. My Y isn't as good. You can still do it on here if you're okay with that look. It does look kind of neat, but you will get some misfoiling. So best suggestion is to keep with a very smooth cardstock. That's your best option for the glimmer machine. Okay? I mean, it doesn't look bad. It is a little bit light here, but still usable. I would use it. It's not terrible. Okay? So that shows you if you have a, if you use like a Basil cardstock, it has that texture to it, some of it. It's not the smooth. That would probably work the same as this. Okay, so now I am going to show you some of our new Better Press plates in here. So these are two new Better Press plates that we got in to the store. Here, I'm going to take them out of the package so we get this glare gone. You can use any Better Press plate that you have in your Glimmer hot foil machine. They do double duty. So they're usually more of a silver tone. Excuse me. And they will work in both. So I am going to take off my hot plates. Put them over here on my stone to cool them down. I'm going to do these ones first. So these are the splatters. It is called Splatters. It's part of a Lisa Horton line from Better Press. It's one of the newest releases. And we're going to put some splatters on our paper. Now, let's see. Are any of these big enough? Not quite. Okay. So you can get as fun. You could do it all in one color, or you can do them in different colors because these are two separate pieces. I'm going to use both gold and silver just to show that you can foil the two separately. Piece of gold, piece of silver. Now, I don't need this whole piece, so I'm going to see just how much I need, and then I'm going to trim this again. And again, don't throw out these little pieces because we could use them for sentiments. So I am going to press the timer on this one because they haven't been on here very long. I'm going to gold foil this one. And I'm going to silver foil this one. Okay, so this, I don't need half, I need way near that much. And this one's a very forgiving plate, so if I don't quite get it all, it'll work out. So let's see, I just need some tweezers. Don't quite have that placed on there well. There we go. Okay, so there's those two. I'm going to go back to my Harmony Hughes cardstock. I have lots of that cut. Just going to wait for that light to stop blinking. Which it has, so we're ready to go. Pull it off. Put down my paper. My green plate. My clear plate. And run it through my machine. Ooh, these are going to be fun. Okay, so I'm going to let these cool. Sorry, I shouldn't be flashing them that way. That glares at everybody. Okay, so peel. Oh, these are awesome. Okay. Okay, the first time playing with these ones. They are awesome. So these ones will put some splatter in. I will put links to everything that I'm showing you here that I'm using that I got in the store there. I will put links for you when I'm done the video. This one's in silver. This one's in gold. There's no overfoiling. Now this one, these plates, I mean, you can't see it, but if I feel here, it's smooth, but it's not perfectly smooth. So if you look here, do you see how it kind of looks like it has that texture? That's actually how this plate was made. It's not a super smooth. So if you look in the silver, some of them are smooth and some of them are actually a little bit more textured. They're meant to look like that with this plate. Okay? So that shows you, you can really see the texture here. Okay? Those are awesome. I love those plates. I'll be using those a lot, I think. They'll be fun to better press too. Okay, so there's that. Now, I saved this one until last for a reason. Because I am going to show you a little trick after we are done trying this one. Okay, so again, another perfect one. I'm going to get this one on here. So this one is a full plate. Some of the better press plates are coming in 5x7 size now. As you can see though, if I put my paper on there, they are always a little bit oversized so that you get your full cardstock covered. Okay, so I'm going to press the timer button. We'll let that heat up. Oh, where did it go? Did everyone enjoy this beautiful day we had today? Oh, it was so warm and nice out there. It's so nice to see the sunshine finally. I was getting so sick of rain. So sick of rain. Oh, what color am I going to do this in? Better get a piece of foil going here. Let's do it in the gold. Thanks, Jody. Trying to show how some of the machines work. Okay, so that is ready. I didn't have my foil ready, so I'm going to get that cut. Too busy yakking. yapping. All right, so there we go. A little bigger than I need, but I do have some scratches down here. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see. It's curling. See how there's kind of some scratches in there? I don't want them on my plate, so I'm just going to put them to the bottom here. So it's ready to go. Plate is covered. Pop it off. I'm going to put my paper. You know what? I'm going to use a larger paper for this one, just because I don't know where the plate is. It's harder to tell. So I'm going to use a half sheet so that I make sure I get it all. My green plate, my clear plate, through my machine. And doing the hot foil with the Better Press plates, they give you that exact same fine, intricate detail that they do when you stamp them with the Better Press. Okay? All your designs are going to be super, super like fine. You'll see with this one that it's going to work out great. That's perfect. I do not see one overfoil, nothing with this. So again, I'll turn my light off because I want you to see. See those little dots for the eyes? Every little dot on the eye and every punctuation mark are on there, and they are like super fine. So that turned out amazing. This one's going to be a well-used one in my craft room as well. And it is called Script Text. Okay? Yeah, that turned out perfect. Every little dot is just perfect. You can see the little dots there. They turned out perfect. Okay. Now, here's one of my little helpful hints. Remember how when I did this first one, I have this leftover piece of foil and I said, don't throw that away? Here's why. Okay. We're going to take this. It's hot. We're going to flip it over. They do sell plates. Some companies have plates that you can buy that are just a solid plate. But I'm going to pretend I don't have one, so I'm going to make my own. So when you buy any of these larger solid plates, we're going to do that and we're going to let it warm up. We're going to press the timer. Even though it's warm, I'm still going to press the timer because I want to make sure it's good and hot. Okay. Let's see, is one of these better than the other? Oh, I think this one might be. Let's use it. Almost got a little bit crinkled. Tick tock, tick tock. I'm going to put this on top so you can see. I want to make sure that my image is fully on the back of that, which it is. It's not quite ready to go. So we're going to wait for that to heat up. There it goes. It's done. So I'm going to take this off. I'm going to see how this works because it needs to be nice and hot for this. Put my plates back on. Depending on your machine, how loved it is, you may want to add like a cardstock shim with your plates. Just because, you know, once we use our stuff, I'm going to actually run this backwards as well. And see, we're going to see how this works. All right. So whenever we die cut something, we always have a positive and a negative. That's how they kind of refer to it. Okay, so when we hot foil, what we hot foiled was the positive, and now this is the negative of what didn't foil. So if we save our negatives, we're not wasting any foil, and if you look at this, it didn't work. Okay, so there's an example. Not hot enough, not enough pressure. I'm still going to use this same piece, even though it will be missing some. And here's what I'm going to do. This is where we experiment. Okay. So that's on there. I'm going to press the timer again. And I am going to grab, I have some cardstock shims here beside me. They're just, I use them in my die cutting machine. So we're going to try that. I'm going to use the back side of the paper. So all it did was this. I mean, kind of a cool effect as well. You could use that as a background for sure. But we're going to try to get that entire image foiled onto our cardstock. Let's see. All right. Okay, I'm going to put my paper on here. Should be done very soon. I am going to put my green plate first. I'm just going to try 2. This might be too much. My machine will tell me in a moment. And the clear plate. Release. All right. Now, don't ever force anything through your die cut machine. If you can't get it through, then it's too tight. And mine is going. Yes, Jody, you can use your Big Shot with this machine, with the Glimmer. The plate will work in the Big Shot. Again, you're going to want to play with your pressure to see if you need like a cardstock shim or not. You'll kind of know once you get going. All right, so this one. All right, so let's see how this one worked out. Just going to cool it down a little bit. And peel. Okay, so this one's better. Still not perfect. Okay, but you can see it got some of that on there. Now, I'm going to try one more time with this one. Let's see if we can get it to work. The back of this plate is quote unquote textured slightly. So I'm thinking that's why we're getting the way that it is. Right, but I want to give it a try and see if we can get a good result. I'm going to try putting my cardstock. I'm going to use the back of this. So we'll put the cardstock. I'm going to try using the cardstock shims here, and then my plates. A metal shim would work great maybe for this too, because a metal shim actually will heat up as well. So I don't even know whose metal shim this is. I'm going to try it with the metal shim. Okay, put this back on. Put this on. Put this on. Put my plates on. Said it was ready to go. Just pull it off and run it through. I'm going to go forward and back. As you can hear, that was a little tighter to go through, but it still was fine to go through. I didn't have to force that through at all. Nothing. Okay. So I have a metal shim here. Let's see what we can do with that. Ooh, that's hot. Angela, don't grab that with your hands. Don't forget your plates are hot. Sorry for the glare. I'm going to try it just with my metal shim. I'm really experimenting tonight, ladies. I like to try different things to stretch what we have. Okay. The tricky part is now, though, is that I have to find the... If I center it, I should be okay. Make sure it's all on the heat. Okay, here we go again. Definitely going to use some shims for this because I don't have the same thickness as the press or the Better Press plate with this. Oh, I got my base crooked. There we go. I think, nope, still crooked. Okay. There we go. Oh, just lost the end of my, the little doodad in the end of my handle. All right. Let's see if this worked. Whew, that's hot. Okay. It's way over there, so we'll leave it there. Okay, so it's not quite working out. I'm not even sure what companies sell these solid plates anymore. I am going to use mine. Mine is an old Pinkfresh one, so some of you may have it from Pinkfresh. And we are going to try it with the actual plate because it is smooth. So let's see if we can get this to work. We'll use this one. Oops. Heather might be able to get some into the store. I'll have to see. I'll have to ask her about that. We still have some Pinkfresh stuff in the store, so I'm sure maybe we could order some in if anyone's interested. If you're interested, let me know. I can see what I can find out. Yes, they do have different shapes, Kathy. They have, you know what? Spellbinder sells some. Spellbinders, I'm not sure about the full solid plate, but they have to. You would think they would. I'll look into Spellbinders as well. Spellbinders has the shapes, and that's where you could just do an oval in the center of your page, and you just take a piece of what you've, say for example, this press plate, the script one, would look amazing if you had an oval solid plate and you just took an oval solid plate out of the center of that plate, out of the foil that you have left over. That would look great too. And then you could also just do, when you do your original hot foiling, if this is the plate that's underneath warming up, it's only going to take that foil for your regular as well. So you can do that as well. Yes, yes. Okay, so that says it's ready. I'm going to press my timer. I want to make sure this is good and hot. And where did I put my paper that I just had? I tell you, ladies, perimenopause is not fun. I am not enjoying it. That's all I'm going to say. The brain fog is horrendous. So we'll put this on. And we'll put this on. Where's my plate? There it is. Ouch, ouch, ouch. There we go. I haven't had one design skip and like double print. They've all worked fine. If you find you're getting that, sometimes it's also helpful to tape your foil to your cardstock so that it stays, so that it doesn't move around at all. There we go. I'm only going to use one shim this time because I know this plate tends to be a little bit thicker, and I think that might be why it works a little better. So, shim and my plate on top, and let's go run it through. All right. It's gonna snap, ladies, because this is tight. Sorry about that. I shouldn't have put the shim in. FYI. Not that shim anyway. Okay, let's take this off. That looks like it might be better. Yes, okay. So this worked better than the other ones. I thought maybe we could use this, but I think, you know what? I'm going to try a different plate, and I'll tell you why. Because I just figured out, I think, why it's not working. So, remember last week, I used this plate in my Better Press. I'm going to use this for the back. And the reason being, see how most of this is solid? As opposed to the only pieces that are grabbing the heat here to help heat it up are the raised parts, and they're all quite thin. So we're going to give it a go with using this plate backwards and see if we can get it to work. All right, so look. There we go. That's more of the result we want. It's still not perfect. I still have some, here, let me turn my light back on. I still have some foil left on there. So it's not perfect. The edges worked really well. Center, not so much. But is it usable? It's usable. Okay. So let's take this one off. I'm going to use one of my Misty corners to take this off. The magnets are stronger. And that's going to be very hot. Probably shouldn't use that because it's plastic, but I did. All right. Let's get this one out. I'm going to give it one last go. I don't know if I have any negatives left. You know what? I have some negatives. I was doing some sentiments for my next card class. And I have a whole bunch of negatives from them. So I'm going to try doing one of those and seeing how that comes out. All right. Let's see what we got. So press the timer. I would recommend pressing the timer twice for when you want to do a solid. Now this piece of foil is not perfect to begin with. You can see there's some, well, maybe you can't, but right here, there's a long scratch through there. So that's not going to work anyway, but we'll just focus on a part that will work, if it will work. Get a piece of paper, set that on top. All right, shouldn't be too much longer. So I know a few people have been in and bought the Glimmer systems, weren't 100% sure about buying them or if they'd use them. So I thought I should do a better press video as well as a Glimmer video to show the people the machines that they bought. Show them what they can do, what they can't do. Sky's the limit. Always try. This timer says it is ready. I am not going to do a shim this time because it was very, well, this one I might actually because I've got this different plate on here. So we'll do green plate. We're back to this one, so we'll use a shim and we'll do this. Yeah, don't be afraid to experiment. I mean, you do waste a little bit of foil and a little bit of cardstock, but you might not as well. You might be, you know, really impressed with what you get. So I'm going to go back. Okay. Oops. There we go. All right. So let's see what we've got with this one. Looks like it's textured again because this background is textured. However, with something more like this, it's going to be easier. Actually, this worked. Well, no, there we go. You can see where the flowers are. So there goes my theory. So well, it isn't that's where there goes my theory. It proves my theory. So the more solid your plate, as you can see right here. Okay, let's flip this over, and it has a hard time picking up these full plates. Okay, hot. Sorry about that. That was loud. Okay, so if we flip this over and you look at this, that's where those flowers are. So look, do you see? If I line that up, that is where the flowers are on the plate. Therefore, it didn't heat up enough. So maybe if I leave it on the heat a little bit longer, then maybe it would work. I'm going to leave it this way for a minute. We'll give it one more try. Because I'm bound and bent, I'm going to make this work, ladies. And then I'll let you go. So I've heated it up on that side. I'm going to get my paper ready. It's my last piece of cardstock. Oh, I got 2 left. All right. So I've heated it up on that side. Let's flip it. Ouch. Sorry, ladies. That is hot. Heat it up. Pretty side of the foil. to the pretty side of the plate. Put this on. I'm going to put my plates on now, so that holds it down. Whoops. Probably going to get a wrinkle there. Thanks, Erin. I try to do some things, like I say, to help everyone use their machines, their products. It's nice for us to share our tips and tricks. Run it backwards. Now let's see how we did. This plate that I'm using at the moment is, sorry, Kathy, you're going to have to let me know which one you're talking about, because I've used several, the Better Press and the hot foil plates. Okay, again, it's not working where the flowers are. So I guess we're not going to be able to do the back of the plate like I thought we could. But as far as the parts that did work, like on this one, I mean, that thanks is usable. I could die cut. Now this one happens to be, it's a full plate for the words and then a full plate for the die. But I could use the thanks for just being you. I guess I could use that one. The just because, no, but like I say. Okay, the plate with all the sentiments on it. So this one here? Or are you talking about... Where did it go? I've lost my script. There it is. Okay, so this one here was it's from Spellbinders, and it's called the You Are Everything Sentiments. And it comes with your Better Press plate, which can be used in both your Better Press and your foil. And then it also comes with a one-piece die. So once it's all foiled or Better Pressed, then you'll use your die and you'll line it up on top and run it through your die cut machine. And then each individual one, I can actually give you a quick little show of what they look like. So they come out, I'm going to use something dark. Here, how about a piece of this orange paper? Okay, so they all come out cut and ready to go. So I'll have to talk to Heather about getting in some of these as well. These are ones, I think some of these I've gotten in the auction, some of them I've got in the store. Some of these are old stock that I've had, so, but they all cut out individually like this. Okay, and those are foiled in gold. Oop. I should have saved them and did those for the video, and then I wouldn't have had to do them on my own the other night. All right, ladies, I'm going to wrap it up. I've kept you a little late here. I'm 4 minutes late for my hour. I hope everyone enjoyed. I hope everybody learned something. And if nothing else, if you have a hot foil machine, I hope it has encouraged you to go and use your machines. Sometimes we have things and we forget about them. I'm one as well. I tend not to foil, and then when I do, I'm like, why don't I do this more often? You know, it's like anything. We kind of lose touch with our machines. We've bought them. Let's use them. All right. Have a great night, everyone. Enjoy your week. I hope we get some good weather. I've seen some rain coming, but I hope the sunshine outweighs the rain. and we'll see you again soon, okay? Take care and happy crafting. Bye-bye.